get some basics down. It's a 24-hour endurance race that takes place in France, and there are 4 different classes of cars. The 3 main points that I'm going to talk about today are the manufacturers of the different classes, the track, and the different car technology in this year's race. Now, according to this year's entry list, there will be 56 cars, 186 drivers, 9 different manufacturers, an 8-mile track, and 24 hours of straight-up racing. The first thing we're going to cover are the manufacturers for this year's race. Now, from your left to right, we got Aston Martin, Audi, Porsche, Corvette, Honda, Nissan, Ferrari, Lotus, and Toyota. Last year, Audi brought 3 cars to the race. As you can see in this picture, you can see all 3 of them. There are also 3 drivers standing next to each car. It would be impossible for one driver to do all 24 hours. So you do driver changes. You're allotted 3 to 4 drivers a car, and you do your driver changes during the pit stops. Usually it takes about 30 seconds to a minute to do a driver change. Now we're going to talk about the different classes in this race. So for the first class, we have Le Mans Prototype 1, or LMP1, also symbolized by the P1 right here. The average lap time for these cars is about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and they're the fastest cars on track. These are the big-time manufacturers, like Audi and Toyota and Nissan. They do this class. Now we're talking about LMP2, second fastest class. The average lap time for these is about 3 minutes 45 seconds. It's 15 seconds a lap slower than the last LMP1 class. These cars are spec cars, so basically all the body styling is the same except for the paint scheme. Engines are the same, exhaust is the same. It comes down to driver's skill on who wins the class. It's not so much the team aspect. Now we're going to talk about Grand Touring, or GT, and this is the professional series, GT Pro. Now these cars look like street cars. That's a Porsche. It looks like a Porsche you see on the street. They have Corvettes. They look like Corvettes. They have Lotuses. They look like Lotuses. You get the point. Now, these have an average lap time of about 4 minutes. They're about 30 seconds slower than LMP1, the fastest laps, or the fastest class. Now we're going to talk about GT AM, or Grand Touring Amateur. They are also cars you'll see on the street. This is a Ford GT, and the average lap time of about 4 minutes and 10 seconds. They're the slowest cars on track. 40 seconds slower a lap than the LMP1 cars. Alright, now that we've talked about the cars, the cars and the classes, we're going to talk about the track. So the track's name is Circuit de la Sarthe, and it is in Le Mans, France, and it links 3 towns with 200-mile-an-hour straightaways. It was created in 1923, and it has many different configurations over the years. The main thing that they've done is this whole entire part right here used to be a long straightaway, about 4 miles long. Cars were going too fast through it, about 220, and when they'd wreck, they'd get airborne, fly into the trees, and drivers would die. So they put these little tiny kinks right here and right here, there's 2 of them. They would bring the cars down to about 60 miles an hour to make it safe to race through here. Now, it's about 8.466 miles a lap, and there are 38 turns on the track. According to Top 10 Sporting Events on the National Geographic, the 24 Hours of Le Mans is considered the greatest sporting event in the world, beating out the Olympics, the Super Bowl, and the World Series. The track has an aura about it, whether it be the history or the hum of the engines. It's just awesome to be at Le Mans. They pack 1 or 250,000 fans into the place to watch the 24-hour endurance race. Now, according to technical specifications and Audi R18 e-tron Quattro, it's a very unique aspect behind this race is the technology in the race. You wouldn't think so, but this is actually a diesel-powered car. It's a turbo diesel. And it's not only that, but it's a clean diesel. You can barely hear it when it goes by. All you hear is wind noise. Now these are hybrids. You wouldn't think so, but the front wheels are powered by electric engines on both of these cars. The rear wheels on the front car, the blue one, is powered by a gasoline engine, and the rear car is powered by a diesel engine. Now, this is my favorite car of the entire race. It's an experiment done by Nissan. It's called the Delta Wing. And it's basically a concept to try and double the fuel mileage and cut the aerodynamic drag of the car in half, and prove that this shape will actually work as a race car. In summary, the 24 Hours of Le Mans has 4 different classes racing for 24 hours, and it started with a very simple concept. Who can go the furthest in 24 hours? The race takes place June 16th through the 17th. It will be broadcast on Speed Channel in the United States. If you don't get Speed, you can find a live stream online. And that's it.